Hi, this is the help movie for Chapter 7, Independent Project 7.6, and I've downloaded the start file and I have the instruction file here. I've enabled the Excel spreadsheet, so I'm ready to start on step 2. Just kind of a little what is this project going to do, right? So it's going to do custom number formats, validation lists, to do both a list and a date restriction, create an error alert, insert a combo box, and set properties for the combo box, and protect a worksheet. So very similar to the stuff that the skills that we covered in the guided project. So let's go ahead and start here. We're going to be on the data sheet. So if you look, we have calorie tracking, hospital seminar, and data. So we want to make sure we're on the data sheet and on cell D2. They want us to review the formula. So the formula is that, I'm going to make this a little bigger. We're taking C2 divided by B2, and then we're rounding it to 3 decimal places. Okay, so that's what that formula is doing. They want us to select cells D2 through D10 and open the Format Cells dialog box. So we're going to click on this, Format Cells. So right here under Number, I just clicked on the dialog box launcher, and we want to select the custom category. We want to select the 0.00 in the sample list and edit it to have a third 0 there. Okay. Oops. I clicked enter and I did not want to do that. So let's see. Custom. And then so right now it says 0.00, but they want us to do a third 0. So up here in the type, I'm going to click and add a third 0 and go ahead and do OK. So now our calories per minute should have 3 decimal places because we applied this custom number format to it. Select D2 and click the Format Painter. Click the Calorie Tracking tab, and we're going to select E3 through E33. So it didn't look like it did anything, but it really did. So let me explain what we just did. So back here on data, we set up a special number format, the one that has 1 number, point, and then 3 decimals. We took that and did a format paint and placed that same special number format on this set of cells in a different sheet. And so now when I go to put data in here, it's going to take on that format that I just created with the 3 decimal places. So that is a really common technique, and I think you have to do that in the extra credits. So I think the style is already made, the number format's already made. You have to go get it and apply it, like paint it somewhere else. Okay, so we're going to select E3 on the calorie tracking. Use start a VLOOKUP function to look up the label in cell C3. Okay, so let's start that and then walk through it. So we're going to do formulas, and I'm going to make this bigger so you can. We want lookup and reference, and we want VLOOKUP. All right, so remember, VLOOKUP checks for something and it goes out to a lookup table and tries to find the match in the first column of the lookup table, and then it'll return whatever column you want of return from the table. So what we're looking up is C3 running, right? So we're going to try, and we're going to go look up in our list how many calories running has, okay? So we're going to use the table array, and the table array is on the data sheet, and it is, so look here. Here are the activities. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 columns of data. What we're going to want to return is this fourth column, right? Columns per minute. So I'm going to select A2 through D10 because that's the data table that I'm using for lookup. And remember what I said about lookup tables? Always hit your F4 to make it an absolute reference. So then the next thing is, and before I click off of it, we want to say what are we trying to return as the answer. The information in column 1, column 2, column 3, or column 4. Well, we're trying to find the calories per minute for running. So that's column 4. So in this column index, we're going to type a 4, and then we don't have to do anything in this range lookup. We're going to leave that, and we're going to click OK. So now, and look, it's got the 3 decimal places, so it took that format that we applied. So now, because I used the absolute reference, I should be able to copy this, but I'm not done yet. If you look at, we did the VLOOKUP, but look at number 7. It says edit the formula in E3 to multiply the results by the number of minutes, because this is how many calories per minute. This is how long the member actually did that activity. So we're going to come up to our formula bar, and just on the end, we're going to say times how many minutes, because this is calories per minute, and this is how many minutes they ran. We're going to go ahead and do OK, or enter, and there. So for the 20 minutes of running, that member burned 166.66 calories. So now we want to copy that formula down to E33. So let's see, copy the formula. Oops, but we really want to copy it all the way down. And this is going to be NA because look, we don't have any data here. So it's going to go try and look up this activity, but there's no activity. And that's okay for right now. It's okay. Alrighty. Select cells C3 through C33. C3, C33. Okay. So when we put new rows in here, we probably only want activities that are listed on our data sheet, right? Like we don't want to put, boxing if boxing isn't on the data sheet. So we want to add some kind of data validation to use the list of activity names in the data sheet. So let's start that. We're going to come up here to data, data validation, data validation. So we're saying right now it's any value, but we want to change that to a list, and the list is on the data sheet. So we're going to go data, and we're going to select this list. So we're saying that a person can only pick one of the choices that is on that sheet. I'm going to go OK. And now look, if I were to enter a new one, look, it's going to bring up that list so I can pick right from there. So now we're limiting this activity, they're not going to have typing errors or any of that kind of stuff. So if you were to type running and had 2 little n's, then it's not going to pull the minutes that are burned, and then it's not going to be able to figure out how many calories that person burned on that date. Okay, so on the calorie tracking sheet, delete the data in cells A3 through D23. Calorie tracking A3 through D23. So we're getting rid of everything that was there. Now we have a bunch of NAs. Select B3 through B33 and set the data validation to use a date that is less than or equal to today. Okay, include a stop error message that says check date. Okay, so let's think about what we're trying to do here. When you go to enter a date in here, you want to have a date that's today or earlier, right? You can't put a member's activity for the future because they haven't done it yet. And so if you were to put in a date in the future, that would be a typing error. So we want to restrict that error. So let's see. Select B3, B3 through B33. Set the data validation. So we're going to do data validation, and then we're going to allow a date that is less than or equal to, in other words, before today. Oops. Nope. So I got an error message because I neglected my equals sign here. So for B3 through B33, we're going to allow a date that's less than or equal to, and then it's like you're repeating the equal today, open parentheses, close parentheses. There we go. Oh, I made a mistake. So I'm going to go back because I forgot. Include a stop error message. So we have to come over here to error alert, stop. We're going to put in the title, check date, and then in the error message itself, date must be today or in the past, period. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop the movie here and pick up the next movie at step number 12. All right, thank you.